Yes, hello everybody. Today I'm gonna make some corn soup. So I have some corn and we are gonna make some corn soup. So to start off, the first thing of importance is of course opening the corn first. Maybe I need to put a little light on. Is that better? Now if you pull this back, you can see that there is corn in it. So what we now are gonna do is I have this. We are gonna put it in there. Yes. You can see there's still corn in it, so you need to get everything out. And I will do my best right now. Get it all out. Oh, that looks nice. Now what you want to do is you want to blend it. So we are gonna do that. You know, make sure the safety is off. Otherwise this will not work. Yes. And you know why I'm making corn soup? It has to do with corn is one of the most valuable resources known to mankind, because it's one of the biggest industries of food that has been processed, and about 20% of everything we eat there's corn in it, which is quite a lot, and it is also one of the best growing resources in Africa. So those are really cool facts to know about corn. So what we do now, I think we should do two hands, just because it can break. So what we do now is we blend it. As you can see, it has a very creamy substance right now, but we need to add some milk. Yeah, look at that. That's just amazing. Maybe you want some POV. Oh. That there is also a lot of corn is a big topic in America. They make like corn candy, and that's because there's a lot of cheap sugar in it. inspiring. Kind of reminds me of using the resources that you have, and I can really appreciate that. So what we now are gonna do is get the oven. This one you can put away, just like that. And now this needs to get in there, but of course we have a pen for that. So let me grab that. So this is just a nice pen, that we can use the oven. Maybe not like how it's intended to be used, but definitely a good alternative, I would say. So we're now just gonna pour it. It kinda looks like a pancake. Right, look at that. So now we put the timer on and put the heat on the lower half. You can see that will become red. It's actually quite cool. You can see it slowly going. You see that? Slowly turning red. Right now, you're just gonna put it like this, Yeah, that is cooking indeed. Corn is also used in every continent except for the Antarctica, and that means there's corn everywhere. Why wouldn't you make soup out of it? Yeah. Corn also produces a lot of money because it's used a lot. So the bigger the export, the better it gets. And if you use corn and it's fresh and you store it for at least 6 hours, it already loses 40% of its sugar content. Meaning that corn maybe is sweet, but when you eat it fresh, it is even 40% sweeter, which is quite a lot. They're also developing a lot of genes, like MO things for it, so that you can get better yield out of it. Because compared to 1931, the yield has increased about 500%, which is like quite a lot of yield, I must say. Also, fun fact: corn used to be called maize, and Americans always need to change words around, because they cannot create their own language, so they feel sad about it. So they just make up some words and then they can claim it's their language. But you know, it's okay. It's also corn is also in Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And corn is even used in fireworks, so that means that if you eat corn, you can probably also eat firework because there's corn in it. You know, so if you ever, you know, have problems eating, or you don't have corn and you really want it, you can also use firework. So those are just you know, some nice facts about it. Check it. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking absolutely nice. Now, because we have corn and milk, maybe it's nice to get a glass of some milk. So you can see that. Yes. Cheers. The milk kind of tastes like corn right now, which is actually quite nice. You know, you can see it yourself. Nice though. Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. That was I really would recommend drinking that. That's quite a good way for your buds to you know, fill it up. As you can see, this is also my room where I live. You can see it looks very nice. Yeah. As you can see, that's also a plant, but it sadly is not corn. I think if you would have corn, you know, it would be better, because then you could also eat it. You know, I'm not saying that you cannot eat it, but it just, you know, it just, you know, it's not corn. You know, it doesn't feel like it. It's just not it. You know. Yeah, this is looking actually really nice. We could maybe heat it up by using both, because now I only used the lower one. As you can see, that's glowing red, but the one above I didn't. So maybe it's good if we also do that, so that it can caramelize a little bit. But that's looking actually really nice. Let me test it out. Oh, yes. Look at that. You know, that's like the advantage of using a non-stick pan. You know, I think that's actually really delicious looking. You know, I sadly don't have anything to put it in other than this. I also have another pan. Let me get it. But this one is sadly too big, like to nicely fit. Oh wait, maybe it could like on top. I never thought about that. You know, but you need to adapt and react. I think living like this is a way to adapt to the world. If you don't have enough room for a big oven or anything else other than a small oven, you can use the oven as maybe it's not like it's intended for it, but you need to be creative, and God made us creative. Oh, I'm opening up that window. I mean, nice. A bit of fresh air is also good for you. Because sadly we are not allowed to leave the room anymore. So, we need to live in a different kind of. Oh, I just saw a bubble. I just saw a bubble. Are you seeing a bubble? Yeah. Okay. There's also something called the Corn Belt in the United States. Like Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, which is actually quite funny because those are also the places where most people believe in God. So I think there's a correlation that you could have with that. Also, corn can be used in tortilla chips, cornmeal, of course, and corn flour, corn syrup, corn oil, corn drink, corn soup. As you can see right now, it's really delicious. You don't even need seasoning. Yeah, there are mostly carbs in corn, so that's a good thing. And corn is really something of the Western Hemisphere. So yeah, corn is really not used in a lot of states or in a lot of places. Maize is the proper formal and international way to describe corn, but also is saying right here maize, as you can see, which is actually quite cool. And maize is also an Indian word for sacred mother or a giver of life. So corn is also a giver of life. Just as that right there. So I think that's quite good. It's also a domesticated grass, corn, and corn does not exist in the wild. So that means, it's just like your domesticated cat or dog, but then as a food form, which is actually quite sad to realize that you are not able to get it outside of the wild. Because I would really like to, walk around and just find some corn in somewhere in the forest, but that is sadly not something that we are able to do. Yeah, United States is the biggest country producing it, which is probably true. I mean, they really like corn, which is quite odd, I would say. But you do you, I would say. That's probably why a lot of people call it corn, actually, because you know, a lot of people producing it are also calling it corn. Well, maize is actually the thing that most people know it under, which is actually, you know, it's quite funny, I would say. It can also be used for livestock feed, and of course for human feed, food, biofuel, and raw material in the industry, meaning that, you know, it can be used in this. You know, this could be also corn. It could be corn in this plastic material, which even maybe in the oven that's using there could be corn in it. Meaning I'm using corn to make corn soup in a corn thing. You know, which I really like that idea. Yeah? That's why I really like corn a lot more than all the other stuff. Just because it has such a better, you know, history, I would say. You know, there's so much more involved with it than just corn. Yeah. Of course, there is also male and female corn, which is actually quite fine. Corn is grown on kernels, and the kernels are like the stick in between, and then the corn grows around it. And those kernels are about 2.5 centimeters long, something like that. I don't know. It also has a lot of health benefits. Actually, quite funny fact also is that corn is the central thing to Mexican food, meaning that if you eat something Mexican, there's probably also corn in it, even though they aren't the largest corn producer. Corn is also, you know, common breakfast cornflakes. You know, if you know about cornflakes, you know that, you know, you can eat it in the United Kingdom, in North America, you know, which is quite funny. Of course, there's also popcorn, you know, which is also used, which is just really funny. Corn syrup is also something which is just, you know, a really good sweetener, which, you know, as I said before, it's used in a lot of drinks like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. And you know, in chicha and chica morada, purple chica, is also typically made out of maize, so corn, and it's an alcoholic drink that you drink mostly in Peru. So if you're ever in Peru and you drink something purple, it's probably made out of corn, which is really cool. Corn oil you can use also, and it helps to lower the blood cholesterol. So if you have too much sodium intake, you can use a lot of corn so that it gets lower. Yeah. Also in paint, there's corn in it, in cosmetics. So if you put on foundation for the girls, or, you know, your lipstick or eyeglass, and there's corn in it, which is actually really funny. So that means you could also probably eat it. Also, corn is used for ethanol. So it's a lot of, you know, people can use it for liquid biofuel, which is really cool. You know, they used to always harvest corn by the hand, manual labor, but right now it's all machinery that does it, which, you know, it shows the impact of it, that we develop machines to use with corn. You know, and those machines are probably also made with some corn in it, which makes it again. You use corn to make corn, to eat corn, in corn, and you make that food of corn and something made out of corn. You know, so that's why it's so interesting. You know, it's everywhere. You know, if I touch this wood, you know, you could say, oh, the wood is no corn, but, you know, there's a stain on it, which is made from corn, you know. So actually, it's wood with corn, and I'm making corn soup made out of, you know, corn, in corn, and I put it in corn, and, you know, it's always mind-boggling when you realize the connections that it has. It's actually quite scary, and I think that's why in the episode of Rick and Morty where they need to search for another planet, they come across some planet where corn is in every organism, and they are scary. They're scared by it. But it's actually kind of reality, so that's quite information that they gave you as like comedy form, but it's also quite true. As you can see, it has developed a nice layer on it. I sadly don't have a spoon yet, and I'm not allowed to go outside, so I'm also unable to get a spoon, but we will figure something out together. I'll try and look for something that kind of looks like a spoon. Because I can use like stuff like this. It's actually quite hot right now, so I think we're almost done. Actually, but the time is also almost done. But yeah, I would say it's actually nice. So let's turn it off. Let's turn it all off. Look at that. Look at that. That's really good corn. I'm really proud of myself. We're gonna put this corn soup in this without spilling. Look at that. Fabulous. I don't want to spill anything. You can see like the substance of it. It's like quite nicely thick. Oh my bad, I'm not using the camera. As you can see, it's nicely thick. It's because of the milk in it, which kind of thickens it all up. I always say when you make soup, you use a non-stick pan, because then you can eat it also out of the pan. But, I like to get it in something like this. Yeah, I think we should go for a taste test. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, it smells actually really good. No, that's actually nice. Like, it has a really good substance. Yeah, I would say that was a really good thing.